Welcome back to the second segment of the show. Today we're going to be talking about Egyptian Women's Day and the state's efforts to empower women and females generally. Today we are joined over the phone by Dr. Mariam Waheed, a professor of political science. Good afternoon to you, Doctor.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for joining us over the phone.
Thank you.
Could you tell us a bit about how the state is trying to empower women in Egypt?
I'll begin with the year 2014 when we had the new constitution of Egypt. And this constitution stated directly that there should be complete equality between women and men.
Yes.
That is in the preamble or in the article. So women actually were given huge space in politics, and they occupied a lot of positions either in the executive branch or as members of parliament later on. In year 2017, women were given special attention by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and also later on they took a lot of positions as ministers and
Yes.
also in other places or other positions in the government.
Yeah,
Also, from the other side, we can talk about change of laws in favor of women.
Yes.
And actually, women parliamentarians played a large role in that, to change inheritance laws to be in favor of women. Also, changing all kinds of laws in all fields to make women more engaged in the economy. Also, women were very active in civil society.
Yes, yes.
And there will be a special focus later in this year, as it's the year of civil society, of the cooperation between civil society and state and private sector for more programs in favor of women.
Yeah, we've seen recently female judges being appointed as well to the judging bench recently. This was also a big step for women in Egypt. But there's also other issues, like societal issues. How can the government sort of face or combat these issues? Yes, there are laws in place to protect women from for instance, family violence and all of that, but this still exists. I mean, obviously we've seen some changes, like for instance, sexual harassment has decreased tremendously here in Egypt. But there's also aspects that still need to be tackled. How do you think the state is going to go forward and tackle these issues?
Yes, I think that cooperation between the state and society is very important in the coming period. So there's a strong political will for women's rights and for the advancement of women's rights, but also there's still some problems in the society which can be said like an inheritance for a long time, that we still have some issues with women's total economic empowerment specifically. I think that there's quite an important role for intellectuals and also the universities to play for raising the awareness of the problems that face women in work. Also encouraging young girls to advance in their careers and to break this glass ceiling in terms of if they feel that they can. For example, occupy some posts that were not that.
Yes.
For example, being judges.
Yes.
So it was not seen as something that in the past it was for men, but now we can see that more women are becoming judges in the state council, which was reserved only for men. So when young girls see those examples, they get inspired and they feel all the strength and all the courage to occupy those positions to serve their country and also to advance in their careers.
Yes, which is an important point when by talking about empowering women economically. Do you think the state is providing enough programs training programs for women to teach them skills, for instance, so they can be able to provide for their families, workshops to help them, provide food on the table, basically?
Yes, and a lot of those programs were discussed in the World Youth Forum, and the different ministries are working together with also international organizations to make more gender mainstreaming for policies, for example. So when policies are being drafted and the part of gender is given special attention to encourage, for example, giving loans to women, encouraging also programs like Decent Life was in favor of breadwinners. Those changes actually will help the society become better, and also will advance women's rights in terms of the economic aspects.
What about education? Is this something that needs to be worked on? Educating females, and obviously educating people in general about women's rights, and educating them that, you know, women are part of society.
Yes, we have a special program actually at the Faculty of Economics and Political Science at Cairo University on gender rights and women and development.
Yes.
So how women are not seen just only as receivers of or recipients of development gains, or but they are actually playing a role in the developmental process.
Yes.
How to make total use of, or to get out the best of women for developing the society.
In recent years, we've started to see feminist movements taking, effect here in Egypt. We've seen them become, on social media quite powerful. Do you think these have also helped women's rights and women's issues in Egypt?
There are different stages and different groups pro-women's rights. There's some like state official pages. There's some for the National Council of Women. There are other non-official pages. So I think that the civil society will play a large role, and social media is, like Instagram, Facebook, is very important because they affect the society so much. A lot of young girls exert a lot or they take a lot of time on those media. So I believe that more work can be done in social media besides other talk shows.
Yeah, one important aspect that the government or the state has focused on as well is women's health. There have been several campaigns, asking the females here in Egypt to go get, regular checkups and so forth, and they're providing caravans as well to help and assist women to get these checkups. How important is this in empowering women here in Egypt?
Of course, health is very important, and after COVID-19, we saw that a lot of states, because they didn't have a well-established national health service or good hospitals, that was a real problem. So when we talk about the workforce, also we have to put into consideration the importance of health.
Yes.
Because we won't have good workers without having a good healthcare system. So that's why there was special attention to regular checkups for women, for awareness against breast cancer, because it's a high number all over the world. We have a large number of cases. So when there's awareness of the importance of checkups earlier, that would be to the benefit of women, of course.
What about the 2030 agenda for the state? What do you see in the next few years when it comes to women empowerment and their place here in society?
Excuse me, which aspect?
The 2030 agenda for the state. We have obviously a lot of goals that the country wants to achieve, and part of these goals is, women and female empowerment. How do you see going forward are the steps that are going to be taken to empower women further?
Yes, I believe that it's very important to shed more light on media, on the role of cinema and arts and culture culture is a very important soft power tool. So there's special attention on culture and how it's very important for development. So even we have vast changes and big changes in the political dimension, and we can see that with the large number of women. Nearly 26% of women are now having seats in the 26% of the total seats for women in the House of Representatives. So there's quite big changes, and I believe that there are a lot of women parliamentarians who have worked on culture and art, and they are working on this to change also the stereotypes of part of the society or segment of society that don't think that women can play a big role in the developmental process.
Okay, Dr. Mariam Waheed, a professor of political science, thank you so much for joining us over the phone. We're going to take a short break and continue on with the second segment of this show.